What if I told you there are animals on Earth that can turn invisible, refuse to grow up, regrow their brains, or literally cheat death? No, this isn't science fiction, this is evolution. Nature didn't just create lions and dolphins, it also produced creatures so bizarre, so biologically impossible seeming, that scientists once thought they were mistakes. Transparent frogs, immortal jellyfish, salamanders that never become adults, creatures that break the rules of aging, healing, and even reality itself. These are animals that shouldn't exist, but do. And today, we're diving into evolution's strangest masterpieces, to uncover why they evolved this way, and what their existence tells us about life on Earth. Because the truth is, evolution doesn't aim for beauty. It aims for survival. And sometimes, survival gets really weird. Imagine holding a frog and seeing its beating heart. No skin, no camouflage pattern, just transparency. Meet the glass frog. These tiny rainforest frogs are almost completely transparent on their undersides. You can literally watch their organs working in real time. Heart pumping, blood flowing, lungs inflating. So the obvious question is, why would evolution make an animal see-through? Wouldn't that make it easier for predators to see them? Actually, the opposite. Glass frogs evolved in bright tropical forests where leaves filter sunlight in complex patterns. When they sleep on green leaves during the day, their semi-transparent bodies scatter light in a way that breaks up their outline. To predators like birds, they don't look like prey. They look like nothing. Evolution didn't make them invisible, it made them visually confusing. Their transparency blurs their shape against the leaf, making them almost impossible to detect unless you know exactly where to look. But here's the real twist. Scientists recently discovered that when glass frogs sleep, they hide nearly 90% of their red blood cells in their liver, reducing the color contrast that would normally give them away. They don't just look transparent, they actively reorganize their own blood to become less visible. That's not just strange biology, that's a biological magic trick, and evolution built it, one small survival advantage at a time. Now, let's talk about an animal that shouldn't exist according to everything we know about aging, a creature that, when it gets old, doesn't die. Instead, it becomes young again. This is the immortal jellyfish. Unlike humans, whose cells gradually deteriorate with time, this tiny jellyfish has a bizarre ability called transdifferentiation. When stressed, injured, or reaching old age, it literally transforms its adult body back into its juvenile form, starting its life cycle over again. It's not just healing, it's biological time travel. Imagine a butterfly turning back into a caterpillar. That's what this jellyfish does. So why would evolution produce something that seemingly defeats death? The answer isn't immortality for the sake of living forever. It's survival during catastrophic events. Jellyfish are fragile creatures in unpredictable oceans. Storms, temperature shifts, and predators constantly threaten their lives. By reverting to an earlier life stage, they essentially reset the damage and get another chance. It's like evolution installed a retry button. But here's the catch, they're not truly immortal. They can still be eaten, they can still be destroyed, they just don't die of old age, which makes them one of the only known animals that biologically escape natural aging, something humans have spent centuries trying to understand. In a sense, this jellyfish represents evolution's most radical idea. What if the best way to survive is simply to start over? Next, meet the axolotl, a smiling amphibian that looks like a permanent baby dragon, with feathery gills and a tiny grin that has made it internet famous. But beneath that cute face lies one of the most impossible biological abilities on Earth. Axolotls can regrow limbs, spinal cords, parts of their brain, and even sections of their heart. Lose a leg, it grows back. Lose part of the brain, it repairs itself. Scar tissue, not here. So why would evolution allow something this powerful? The answer lies in their refusal to grow up. Most amphibians start life in water and then transform into land-dwelling adults. But axolotls evolved in stable lake environments where staying aquatic was safer than leaving the water. So they stopped metamorphosing entirely. They remain in a juvenile state their whole lives, a condition called neoteny. And that eternal youth comes with a massive bonus. Their cells stay incredibly flexible, able to rebuild complex structures perfectly. Humans can heal wounds. Axolotls can rebuild entire body parts. Their regenerative ability isn't magic, it's the evolutionary trade-off of never locking in to a final adult body plan. They never fully commit to adulthood, so their bodies remain endlessly adaptable. In other words, they didn't evolve to regrow limbs, they evolved to never lose the ability to grow. Now, let's go microscopic. Meet the tardigrade, also known as the water bear. This creature is smaller than a grain of sand, but it can survive conditions that would instantly kill almost any other life form. Extreme radiation, boiling heat, freezing temperatures near absolute zero, the vacuum of space. Yes, tardigrades have been sent into outer space, exposed directly to cosmic radiation, and survived. How? When conditions become extreme, tardigrades enter a state called cryptobiosis. They dry out, curl into a tiny ball, and replace the water in their cells with protective molecules that stabilize their DNA and proteins. They essentially pause life. No metabolism, no aging, no damage accumulation, just waiting. Years later, when water returns, they wake up like nothing happened. Why would evolution create something this resilient? Because they evolved in environments where water availability was unpredictable. Moss, soil, and temporary water films that could dry out any time. So instead of adapting to avoid drying, they adapted to survive it completely. Evolution didn't make them strong, it made them patient. If you encountered an octopus on another planet, you'd probably assume it wasn't from Earth. It has 3 hearts, blue blood, 8 flexible arms with semi-independent nervous systems, and the ability to instantly change color, texture, and even body shape. Octopuses are so intelligent that they solve puzzles, escape aquariums, and recognize individual humans. So why would evolution give such advanced cognition to a soft-bodied animal with almost no defenses? Because intelligence is its defense. Without shells or armor, octopuses evolved brains powerful enough to outthink predators. Their camouflage isn't just color changing, it's a dynamic display controlled by specialized skin cells that respond instantly to neural signals. They don't just hide, they become the environment. Their intelligence and adaptability replaced physical protection entirely. Evolution, once again, didn't choose strength, it chose flexibility. So, what do transparent frogs, immortal jellyfish, axolotls, tardigrades, and octopuses all have in common? They seem impossible, but they're actually inevitable. Because evolution isn't guided by logic, beauty, or human expectations. It's guided by one simple rule. Whatever survives, stays. If becoming transparent helps you avoid predators, transparency evolves. If resetting your life cycle helps you survive chaos, age reversal evolves. If staying young keeps your body adaptable, eternal youth evolves. If patience beats strength, suspended life evolves. If intelligence replaces armor, alien-like brains evolve. Evolution doesn't care what should exist, it only cares what works. And sometimes, what works looks completely unbelievable. So the next time you see a strange animal and think, that shouldn't exist, remember, nature doesn't follow our rules, it writes its own. And somewhere, right now, evolution is quietly shaping the next creature that will make us question everything we thought life could be. Because on this planet, the impossible isn't rare, it's just waiting to be discovered.